did you notice playing the boss?
Authoritative.
Irrationality, probably. An irrationalness, that if someone owns something, they can do that, where if they don't, they would never be able to. But you could behave, I didn't like feeling that way, honestly, because there was no rationale to it. There was no good business sense. There was no nothing. I didn't like behaving that way. It just wasn't conducive, I don't think. Is that what you're asking me?
Did you notice anything else? Did you learn anything about that boss that you didn't know before?
No.
Okay. How about you two?
Our situation was, he's the sales rep, I'm the product guy, and he wants to sell stuff that doesn't exist. I want to hold it back to deliver products when it's ready, when it's time, when it's perfect. And he felt that, hey, it's sales guys really running the company. Without sales guys, we wouldn't all have a paycheck. That was kind of his view of the world. And we have to make sure the products are reliable, our reputation is at stake. And so after seeing his points, I understand where he stood, because we're oftentimes making roadmaps, surveying the market, but not necessarily checking it out with the sales team. So he made me realize that sales guys' voice is important. We should take that into consideration. And they know the product best. They're out there every day talking to customers. So their view, as opposed to products or marketing folks, he felt was a much better view of the market. And again, without him, without his team, we wouldn't have a company. That was argued that side.
You felt like you really understood that better.
A lot better than just taking the product view, right?
Cool.
Right.
What emotions came up in general during this exercise for you? Playing that other person or seeing yourself reflected back?
Frustrated.
I think that's
You said empathy, Robin. You said a little bit.
I think we were both teary-eyed, just
Yeah.
sad. I felt so sad that my task focus got in the way of our relationship.
Cool.
And I'm just grateful that we both agreed that. And I tell her, be careful, it's still there. It can come back at any time.
Oh, it will.
Help me help you. No. And I also realized that a lot of the situation really, I felt like I was projecting some stuff on her that I should have projected on her dad. So let's go do that later.
Together.
Stepmom or
Yeah,
step-
stepmom.
Oh, okay. That's yeah. Okay.
Oh,
that kind of explains
If
it.
it
I
were a
didn't know
little
that. I thought you were
sister,
mother
I'd
and
be
daughter.
like beating her now. No, it's a little sister. No, but
Okay, I
that's
got it.
just a tough situation because you feel like there's already that stigma of, oh, you're the stepmom, and how I felt like, well, how does this work? Somebody explain to me how this works. How do you be a stepmom? Like, how does that work?
Where's the rule book?
Because you feel like,
Instructions.
because I think being a mom is hard to begin with, but then when you're the stepmom, it's like, how does that work? Like, how do you, well, I guess we figured that out 10 years later, but it made me very sad just to hear the negative impact that I had on her.
Wow.
Broke my heart.
But probably 10 years ago, she wouldn't have been able to express herself
Yeah.
because you were little.
Yeah. She
They
proposed
probably
to me.
couldn't have
She couldn't
expressed
thrown
it
out
anyways.
there.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was a lot. And, I fully own up to it. I own up to it, and I also know what everybody needs to do to make it better. So I'm not feeling like the victim.
So you think because you were unclear in how to play your role, that there was some fallout from that?
I think so. Where I felt like at the time, I didn't feel supported in this new role as stepmom. I didn't know what it was. I got 2 kids at the same time, a newborn and, a 7 or 8-year-old. And at the end of the day, with my personality type, I just wanted some order so I didn't lose control. And my method for getting that order was creating more of a divide and bringing us closer together. And now I'm just like, fuck it, I don't care. We'll figure it out. You want to leave shit on the ground? Like the other time, go for it. The other day, I think Courtney said to me, we don't need toilet paper. I said, yeah, that's right.
Isn't that great when you get to that point when you're a type A personality and you get to the point where you, oh yeah, I don't think we're getting any food in the house either.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm like, yeah, we know.
And if somebody aren't hot, our participants are like hating us right now.
Yes, this workshop over.
I know.
No, but it was hard.
Yes.
Do you want to comment? I mean, that's just how I felt.
that was a lot of good.
So yeah, I just like it was a hard time, like already, and I wanted to make my dad happy.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you thought of everything. That's awesome.
Fun.
Love it, love it. Yeah.
We had
Bring it
wrong with you,
on.
The mister. This is the misting.
That was the disconnect. You wanted to make him happy, and I wanted to make him miserable.
So yeah, trying to find like the balance of making everyone happy and me hard.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Imagine.
Take care of yourself first. That's what
Maybe
I've
we
been
need
told.
those. Let's
Yeah, but you're
I
torn.
know, they take it from,
Yeah.
I take my
Your
pass it around.
dad, your mom, and your stepmom.
Take your skirt down.
Hurt yourself. Maybe put them in the refrigerator.
Well, that's great the way that you want it.
I get along with her, right? I thought for sure that was going to be shading right now.
Fair for you.
This for,
Oh, yeah, we did.
okay.
I often describe her as she's lovely. She doesn't have my DNA.
She doesn't have what?
She's lovely. She doesn't have my DNA.
Yeah, that's right.
Take your
she's
skirt
blessed.
down
Is that what
and
you're saying?
center your eyes. There.
That doesn't mean it's for me.
Oh.
Oh, why not? You squirted me.
You're allowed. That felt good.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. You gotta
So
get
you
the
just come
pieces.
full circle on your anatomy.
Hey, you're the one who passed them out.
That was great.
So,
I didn't do the back.
this is going to be the best part of our video. So to just come first full circle
Okay, we're
on
gonna have
the
contests. How many points each team
anatomy
can
of
get?
peace.
Connect, right? Hit connect.
Yeah, there you go. So they talk about, okay, you put yourself in one of these 4 boxes, but then where do you go, right? How do you get out of that box? And how do you actually connect with the other person? So one of the examples in the book, parents dropping their kids off at rehab, right, was a father who was a business owner. And he had this executive team that had just walked out on him because he was in labor negotiations and he was being pig-headed with the union and he wasn't giving and he wasn't budging and his management, his executive team thought he should, and so they had all just walked out on him. And he had to come to this stupid weekend for his son. How come his son picked this weekend to go into rehab of all the weekends out of the year? Why did he pick this weekend and why did he have to be here? Because he's not the one with the problem. And so you can kind of...
He's not why his son drinks.
Exactly. Exactly, right? So he starts to see, you know, that he was in the better than box and he was in the I deserve box and, you know, his wife was in the worse than box, right? You know, like she didn't have a say and she couldn't speak up and she wasn't important because, you know, she wasn't running this business and she couldn't control her husband who was like pounding on the kid and she was sympathetic and he thought that was wrong of her, right? You can picture it? So the key is that we ultimately want to connect. Because when we have a heart at peace, we're very connected. Okay? There's love, there's respect, there's mutual regard, there's caring, right? Empathy, all of that comes when we're connected
We're
to the other
connected to
person.
the person, not the story we've made up about them. We're right there present with them.
Okay? So the father was making up the story that his wife was weak because she was giving her son sympathy, when in fact, she wasn't weak at all, and she actually stood up to him in the workshop because he was going to leave, and she said, "Fine, then." Right? You know, and he was like, "Wow, it doesn't mean she can be less than, but it doesn't mean she can't be strong as well." Right? So people's views of each other kind of shifted and changed, similar to what's already begun to happen with you all. So what the key is you got to get out of your box and obtain a heart at peace. You know, what's right about the other person? What's right about their point of view? You guys have already started going down this path with one another. Then build relationships with others who have influence. Had the mother or father ever bothered to understand who the son's friends were? Or who had been mentors in the son's life? Or who had been present in the son's life? Did they ever care about, you shouldn't hang around with Johnny, and who's Johnny? Did they ever wonder about, wow, I wonder where Johnny came from. I wonder what's important to Johnny. I wonder what Johnny's family situation is. You know, maybe Johnny could have come into our family and, you know, nurtured him instead of having him take our son away, right? But if we ever bothered to even care about Johnny, who, you know, and that's a made-up part. That wasn't in the book. But about the friends, understanding his friends and what was going on and what was influencing the social circles and